Okay, I have no idea when that shut down. When you got back to the hotel, Donna's just waiting in the room, and if she was here, I would ask her. But I guess until you came and opened the door, she didn't know. I assume that you were okay.
No, she didn't know. The first thing I got in there, I said, "Boy," I said, "I've had a tough time this year. This was terrible." I started telling her all about it, what happened to me, and so she was really happy that I was there, and she was, in tears and everything because she was expecting the worst after hearing all the noises and that. So we sat around there for a while, and then I got in to take my shower, and oh man, I was so sore, from the quads and everything, the way your legs do when you do a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took me a while to recover.
Over the next 24 hours, as the enormity of this event sort of sunk in, and as you realized how close you were, of the runners, you were the closest.
Well, what really made it sink in was that we called our kids, right away, and I talked to my son, and he said, "Dad," he said, "You are so lucky to be alive."
Yeah, absolutely. And did he know at that point that you had been right there?
No, he didn't have any idea what the setup was. But I just told him, that, and he assured me how lucky I was. And I knew I was lucky.
If he'd seen that picture, it would have even been more so for him.
Oh yeah.
To realize how close you were. The next, as this whole thing unfolded, it must have been a whirlwind.
Yeah, the phone started ringing right away, and people calling from home, and so it got busy there before the day was over. But it was reassuring to hear from your family and everything, And so I didn't really know many people there outside of my family. The other guys that were back there from my area here, I called them and talked to them. They both were quite a ways ahead of me because they're 60-year-old guys, and so they were had seen that thing on television, and they kept asking me about it there. Didn't realize it was as bad as it really was. They thought it just maybe tripped up right along the end or something. I don't know. But then talked to them for a while, and it just kept sinking in more and more all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When it first happened, I don't think I was aware of how big a deal it was.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the phone started ringing. You were getting interviewed. How many interviews did you do in Boston?
I did it with all the major networks. I was there with Anderson Cooper. I was there with can't even think of all the names of them now, but they'd set me up, and I'd meet them someplace, or they'd come up to the room, take the pictures. A couple of them I took us out for dinner, and so they were all very nice. So that worked out pretty good. But there was a lot of them just kept bugging us. Oh my God, the phone was just ringing and ringing, and a lot of them were foreign agencies and reporting, and I couldn't even understand half of them. They talk so broken. So it was really surprised me.
How many interviews did you do when you were in Boston?
I'll bet I did 15 interviews.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Including a phone.
And was it today? Yeah, they called today even.
You've already done an interview this morning?
Yeah. Runner's World. Runner's World called. They set up for he's coming over Tuesday and talk to me.
I'll be darned.
And then this one from that you said was your competitor in Seattle?
Yeah.
Now that guy was probably the rudest. Have you met him?
No.
He's a big heavy guy, and he was just obnoxious. Really.
Okay. Hopefully we're better.
His method was
well, that's too bad.
But most everybody else was really nice, and all the people in Boston were so nice to me.
Okay.
We'd go out for dinner and, hey, are you Bill Iffrig? You know, and I was amazed they even knew my name. But,
Huh. When did you first see the picture?
The picture, that picture there, yesterday. I was waiting at the airport for my flight, and one of the gals come out, hey, Bill, we got your picture.
One of the gals, I mean...
Yeah, flight attendants.
Oh, flight attendants, okay.
Yeah, and I'd heard about it, but I hadn't seen it. We were checking. I was trying to find one to buy it, but they weren't quite out yet.
Okay.
So they just got them out yesterday.
Okay.
And so she had, yeah, come on, here it is, Bill. And I was sitting there with one of my buddies. Oh, he said, I want one of them.
When you see that, when you look at that picture, what comes to mind?
Well, I don't remember a scene. That's almost looked like it's staged, you know. I don't remember that kind of emotion there, but I do remember that right after it happened, these guys were out there right away. They were the first responders, and I was still dumbfounded at what's even going on here. And they were helping any people that needed it, but not a great deal because they were more interested in security.
Okay.
And so then some of the people that were involved with the race itself were out there more helping with that. There was a lot of volunteers out there helping people with the wheelchairs and helping that way. So
is it emotional for you?
It is.
To see that picture?
Well, not that picture so much, but when something was like talking about my son Colin, and that's the emotional part. But the picture.
I asked that because the picture, I mean, you're on the ground. It indicates how close you were.
Yeah.
And how fortunate you are.
Oh yeah.
And that picture just really brings it home, I would think.
I know it.
And that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
If that and even that picture could almost be haunting in a sense, because it was just a reminder every time you look at it. Wow. That was really, really close.
That image of me sitting there like that, I can remember that part of it, but not as vividly as the colors and everything like that are right there. But I was still, like I say, though, I was feeling good and everything worked and I wasn't bleeding. I was pretty sure I wasn't hurt. So I didn't spend too much time worrying about it.
Okay. Is it... you have been running at a very high level for years.
Yeah.
Is it strange to be a celebrity for this?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've been a celebrity certainly around Everett in Snohomish County before this for your running, because you've been so good in your age group and all these different events that you've done.
Yeah.
Is it strange to you at all to be a celebrity? For being knocked to the ground?
Yeah. Well, again, like when I was talking to my son, he said, "Dad, you are all over here." So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was strange, that part of it, and wherever I go, you know, I didn't expect them to remember an old guy like me, but. They'd come around, hey, Mr. Iffrig, and weren't you out there on the race course the other day? And perfect strangers, you know, and they were so nice to me.
This was in Boston?
In Boston, yeah.
I wonder how they knew your name. I mean, you can't see your face there.
They've already got it from the news media so many times, I guess.
Okay.
They must have started talking about it right away. I was amazed, too, that, of course, you got your number on you there. It don't take long to get a name to go with that.
The people at the hotel, did they know?
People at the hotel, yeah, the doorman. That when I got back to the hotel, I mean, he knew all about it, and they were talking to me all the time and doing things for us and special things, you know, and going for dinner and that. And so that was pretty exciting there.
As I mentioned on the phone, I tried to call both the house and your cell phone, and I did leave a number, and you were able to call me back, but your message boxes were full, at both places.
I know it.
How many messages between your cell phone and your house phone? How many messages did you have that you eventually had to wade through?
On the cell phone, I think there was 23 messages on there.
Okay.
The computer, I haven't even started that email thing yet because I'm going to be sitting up there for hours.
How many messages here at the house on your house phone were there?
That's one that there was, I think, 23 messages.
Okay, and your cell phone was?
Yeah, that was the cell phone. The house, we don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I tried to leave a message here at the house too, and it
Yeah.
gave me the same. Sorry, it's full. You can't leave a message. And so I figured all the
Yeah.
family and friends were.
Well, some are still calling now. That that didn't want to bother us.
Oh, okay.
So they're still, our friends are still calling, and so that's nice.
Okay. So
But
you've
now
had you've had quite a job to do, just fielding calls not only from the media, but
Yeah.
from friends and
Yeah.
people checking in
Oh, yeah.
and telling your story over and over and over again.
I know it. Yeah, I don't mind doing it, but because it's a pretty big deal now. But I got out of it okay, so that's the main thing.
Will you do?
Oh, the one guy called this morning wanted me to know if I'm coming back to Boston next year.
Now, who was that called you?
He's a Boston reporter,
Oh, okay.
and I don't recall his name right now, but I said, no. I said, I don't think I'll be back next year.
Okay.
And he was a little surprised at that, because I think he was going to see if they could get me, maybe pay my way for members to, my entry fee or something like that, but
Okay.
I don't want to go next year.
This was a newspaper or a radio or TV reporter?
Newspaper.
Newspaper. Okay.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay, and tell me why you don't think you'd be interested in going back.
Well, it was pretty hard on my family and everything. Last year, all the hassle about how I was going to do, how I'm doing, and then the same thing this year, and they just don't want me to put everybody through that again. To maybe having an injury or something like that. And it hasn't been that good for me, really.
Okay.
So
this is.
I'll still do some other races, of course, but I'm not going to go to Boston.
Okay, and this is unrelated to the bombing.
No.
What you're talking about?
No. But Donna's sitting there waiting for me in the room, for hours and not knowing what was going on, and I had tried to talk her into coming down on the finish line, but it was very congested and it was a mess down there. I'm glad she didn't come down there.
Well, and thank goodness she didn't, because
Yeah.
who knows where she would have been standing.
Yeah. So no, it turned out better for her up there.
Will you do other marathons?
Oh yeah, I'll probably do another marathon. Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to make sure I understand, Bill. The experience and the bombing, not the race itself, but the bombing.
Yeah.
Is that the reason you don't think you want to go to Boston?
Well, no, I don't think it's just that. It's just that the bigger marathons like this don't attract me much anymore. I can go up here to the Skagit Flats, or I could run Seattle Marathon and see a lot of my buddies and a lot of people I know down there in a smaller group, and that's the kind I like to do.
Okay. Will you ever go back to Boston, or do you think you're done there?
No, I don't think I'll be back there. I don't know.
Okay.
I was thinking that, when I turn 80, I'll be turning 80 in just a little over a year now.
Okay.
And so maybe I'd go back as an 80-year-old, and maybe I could win my weight,
Yeah.
my race there.
Your age group?
Yeah.
Because you're 75, 79 right now, right?
I'll be 79 in June.
But that's your age group, 75 to 79?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I looked at the times for the guys, 80-year-olds, and with the guy that won it with a 4:47.